Some franchises stop with just a trilogy, but the MCU is still going strong after 3 whole phases. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we'll be pitting the MCU's first, second, and third phases against each other. For this showdown, we're taking a look at the 3 phases that make up the Marvel Cinematic Universe to determine where the studio really hit its stride. Round 1. Hero Origin Stories. Audiences likely wouldn't have been that excited for the Avengers without proper build-up. In Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America, the First Avenger, 3 of Marvel's most beloved heroes were done right on the big screen with actors who really managed to inhabit their respective roles. Even the black sheep of the family, the Incredible Hulk, shortcomings and all, was a solid introduction to Bruce Banner. With that groundwork established, by the time the 4 of them teamed up with Black Widow and Hawkeye, anticipation was at a then all-time high for this epic crossover. Although Phase 2 is mostly comprised of sequels, it did introduce a few obscure Marvel heroes to the mainstream.
What a bunch of a-holes.
Guardians of the Galaxy turned Star-Lord, Gamora, Groot, Rocket, and Drax the Destroyer into household names. Ant-Man might have been one of the smaller MCU movies, but Scott Lang's wit and charisma nonetheless made the character feel capable of very big things. These unlikely heroes not only became prominent players in the MCU, but also arguably outshined some of the more iconic characters.
Hi, I'm Scott.
Did he just say, "Hi, I'm Scott"?
Phase 3 had an ideal balance of returning heroes and newcomers. Doctor Strange's origin story, while similar to Tony Stark's, still felt fresh thanks to its mystical twist.
This isn't real, this isn't real, this isn't real, this is...
Black Panther and Captain Marvel made huge pushes for diversity in the MCU and Hollywood in general. Though many thought the day would never come, Marvel finally reached a deal with Sony to bring Spider-Man into the fold and, even more remarkably, managed to once again reboot Peter Parker's story without treading on overly familiar territory.
I'm just, feel like I could be doing more.
While each phase brought something new to the hero origin story formula, Phase 1 was the most integral. Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America were widely considered the 3 defining heroes of the Infinity Saga. If their origin stories hadn't stuck the landing, there might not be an Avengers or an MCU. Point goes to Phase 1. Winner, Phase 1. Round 2. Villains. As engaging as the heroes are, the MCU started off with a villain problem. While Obadiah Stane has an interesting connection to Tony Stark, it's hard to take him seriously when he suits up as Ironmonger.
You had a great idea, Tony, but my suit is more advanced in every way.
How'd you solve the icing problem?
Icing problem.
Red Skull is a sinister foe, but we would have liked to have seen more interactions between him and Cap. By far the most entertaining villain is Loki, who's calculating, humorous, and shares a powerful link to our hero.
If it's all the same to you, I'll have that drink now.
The MCU continued to struggle with its villains in Phase 2. The Winter Soldier is awesome, but he's not really a villain in the traditional sense. With a daunting presence and complex motives, Ultron is the clear standout, even if his comic book counterpart was more fleshed out.
Look at me. Do I look like Iron Man? Stark is...
As for everyone else, Malekith, Alexander Pierce, Ronan, and Yellow Jacket all range from forgettable to generic to kind of dull. Oh, and don't even get us started on that Mandarin twist.
Where? Where's the Mandarin? Where is it?
Whoa, he's here. He's here, but he's not here. He's here, but he's not here.
What do you mean?
It's complicated. Hey, it's complicated,
It
right?
is.
It's complicated.
Phase 3 is where the MCU finally started to do its villains justice. Ego won audiences over with charm and then pulled the rug out from under them. Vulture managed to be intimidating even without his suit, Hela relished in every devious act she committed, and Killmonger demonstrated just how many layers a film's villain can have, regardless of genre. Then there's Thanos, who after years of hype delivered on his promise to be the MCU's dominant baddie.
I hope they remember you.
Thanos alone pretty much secured Phase 3's victory here, and the addition of several other colorful villains only pushes it over the edge. Winner, Phase 3. Round 3. Genre variety. Just because they're all superhero movies doesn't mean they're all the same. Iron Man is a tech-based action flick that's fairly grounded in reality. Thor is a fantasy epic, as well as a fish-out-of-water story. Captain America, the First Avenger, is a throwback to old-school adventure serials with modern innovations. Phase 1 proved just how many different genres the MCU could juggle without ever feeling stylistically inconsistent.
What should we do next? Something good? Something bad?
Bit of both.
Phase 2 experimented with several genres you wouldn't expect to mesh with superhero tropes, but this ultimately took the MCU to bold new territory. Captain America: The Winter Soldier has elements of a conspiracy thriller with echoes of real-world terrorism and corruption in government. Guardians of the Galaxy can be considered a sci-fi comedy that's as absurd as it is heartfelt. And for anyone who loves shrinking movies, Ant-Man is the genre's finest addition since Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Phase 3 continued to evolve the MCU with new characters, worlds, and ideas. While there's plenty of variety to go around, this phase didn't explore many new genres. That might be because 6 of this phase's entries are sequels, but even the new heroes mostly operate within genres we've seen before. The most unique of the bunch is Spider-Man: Homecoming, which sticks out as a high school comedy with coming-of-age themes.
You wanna go with me?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, great, cool.
Each phase brought something new to the table, but Phase 2 took the most risks in terms of how many different genres a superhero movie can tackle. That's a point for Phase 2. Winner, Phase 2. Round 4, Action. Director Jon Favreau may have come from a comedic background, but he left audiences pleasantly surprised with Iron Man's inventive and exhilarating action sequences, setting a standard for the MCU. The subsequent films continued to deliver on the action front, with Hulk's showdown against Abomination and Thor's attack on the Frost Giants. The Battle of New York proved to be the most ambitious set piece yet. For a while, appeared impossible to top. Phase 2 didn't skimp on the bombastic action, particularly during the climactic spaceship fight in Guardians of the Galaxy and the Battle of Sokovia in Age of Ultron. It's the smaller, more intimate battles that really stay with us though. A key example is the elevator fight in The Winter Soldier, which makes impeccable use of a confined space. Meanwhile, Ant-Man's fight against Yellowjacket aboard a Thomas the Tank Engine toy is tiny in scale and enormously fun. For a time, we thought the Battle of New York would forever serve as the MCU's pinnacle action extravaganza. But then Captain America: Civil War blew it out of the water with the Avengers airport fight. From the mind-bending action in Doctor Strange to Thor's smackdown with the Hulk in Ragnarok, Phase 3 never lost momentum. And it just kept topping itself with the climactic battles of Infinity War and Endgame, which made everything that came before feel like a dress rehearsal. As far as action goes, the MCU just got better and better, and so, thanks in no small part to the groundbreaking Battle of Earth, Phase 3 takes this one. Winner, Phase 3. Not quite at the end yet. Almost there though. Just be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Alright, back to business. Round 5, Best Movies Overall. Phase 1 got the MCU off to a strong start, laying the groundwork for several ongoing storylines and character arcs. That being said, the best was yet to come for Thor, Captain America, and the Hulk. Even the original Avengers would later be topped by Infinity War and Endgame. The only hero who peaked early on was Iron Man, with the original classic largely outshining its sequels, especially Iron Man 2. Phase 2 commenced on a rocky note with the divisive Iron Man 3 and the disappointing Thor: The Dark World. Just when audiences were starting to feel marveled out, however, the cinematic universe came roaring back with The Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy. Age of Ultron wound up being a worthy follow-up to the 2012 Game Changer, while Ant-Man closed the phase out in refreshingly light-hearted fashion. We have to point out that Phase 3 has the most movies and therefore most chance of succeeding here. With so many films, however, the MCU also could have bitten off more than it could chew. Marvel somehow outdid themselves with arguably the best Captain America movie and definitely the best Thor movie.
Strongest Avenger.
Access denied.
Strongest Avenger.
Access denied.
Damn you, Stark. Point Break.
Welcome, Point Break.
Black Panther became the first comic book superhero movie to receive a Best Picture Oscar nomination, and the later 2 Avengers movies took crossovers to new heights.
I'm here to kill Thanos. He took my girl. Wait, who are you?
We're the Avengers, man.
You're the ones Thor told us about.
You know Thor.
In an oversaturated superhero market, studios tend to favor quantity over quality. The MCU, on the other hand, balanced both quantity and quality in Phase 3, delivering 10 acclaimed blockbusters in a row. Phase 1 and Phase 2 both earned a point apiece, but Marvel upped the ante in every respect with Phase 3, which inevitably wins this versus with 3 points. Winner, Phase 3. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.